Success isn't something that just happens to you. It's not some random event that shows up at your doorstep one day. It's not luck. It's not some magic formula that only a few people in the world have access to. Success is a habit. It's the result of what you do every single day, over and over again. It's the product of discipline, sacrifice, and consistency. And if you don't believe that, then you're already setting yourself up to lose. People love to talk about success like it's a mystery. They look at those who've made it and think, man, they must have had connections. They must have been in the right place at the right time. No, success isn't about chance. It's about choice. It's about what you do when nobody's watching. It's about the hours you put in when the world is asleep. It's about the work you're willing to do long after the excitement wears off. Every single day, you are either getting closer to your goals or moving further away from them. There is no in between. Every decision you make, what time you wake up, how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, every single choice is either building you up or breaking you down. And most people, they don't even realize that they are failing by default. They are losing every single day, not because they aren't capable, not because they don't have talent, but because they refuse to build the right habits. You see, a lot of people get motivated for a moment. They watch a video, they hear a speech, and they feel unstoppable for a few hours. But motivation fades. It disappears the moment things get tough. That's why you can't rely on motivation. You need to rely on discipline. And discipline comes from habit. You don't get disciplined overnight. You become disciplined by doing the right things over and over until they become second nature. Some of you are wondering why you're not where you want to be. You're asking why success isn't happening for you. Let me ask you something. What's your routine? What do your days look like? Because I guarantee if you're not where you want to be, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because your habits don't match your goals. You say you want success, but your actions say otherwise. You say you want to win, but you wake up late. You say you want to build something great, but you waste hours scrolling through your phone. You don't get what you want. You get what you work for. And if you're not working for it, then you don't really want it. Stop fooling yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Stop making excuses about why you're not where you want to be. The truth is, your routine, what you do every single day, is either setting you up for success or setting you up for failure. You want to be great, then start acting like it. Success isn't about waiting until you feel like it. It's about doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Champions don't wake up every morning feeling excited. They don't always want to train. They don't always want to work, but they do it anyway. Why? Because they understand that success isn't about feelings. It's about commitment. You can have dreams all day long, but if your habits don't align with those dreams, you're never going to see them become a reality. Stop playing games with your future. Stop saying, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't promised. You only have today. What are you doing with it? Some of you need to wake up and realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to be consistent, your willingness to grind even when you're tired, your willingness to push through even when the results aren't showing yet. The people who win in life aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most talented. They aren't always the ones with the most resources. The people who win are the ones who show up every single day and do the work. They don't complain. They don't make excuses. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They just get it done. So ask yourself right now, what's my routine? Am I setting myself up for success or am I setting myself up for regret? Because at the end of the day, you will either live with the results of your hard work or you will live with the pain of knowing you could have done more. And that pain, that regret, is worse than any struggle you'll ever face on the journey to success. Lock in, get serious, build the habits that will take you to the next level, because success isn't a one-time thing, it's a lifestyle. Listen to me. If you want to take your life to the next level, you have to take your morning seriously. You have to stop waking up like you don't have a purpose. You have to stop rolling out of bed whenever you feel like it, moving through the day like you got all the time in the world. You don't. You say you want success, but you're giving your mornings away to distractions, to comfort, to laziness, and then you wonder why your life isn't where you want it to be. Success doesn't start at noon. It doesn't start when you feel like it. It starts the moment you open your eyes. Winners don't wake up reacting to life. They wake up with intention. They wake up with a plan. They wake up knowing that what they do in the first few hours of the day will determine how the rest of that day plays out. Most people wake up like the world owes them something. They hit snooze 5 times. They grab their phones, scrolling through social media, looking at everybody else's life before they've even started their own day. They waste the most valuable hours of their morning on nonsense, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why they're behind. Let me tell you something. You don't own your life if you don't own your mornings. When you start your day with discipline, you create momentum. And momentum is what separates the successful from everybody else. You ever see how a shark moves? It doesn't sit still. It doesn't hesitate. It keeps moving forward. And that's how you need to attack your mornings. You need to wake up with urgency. You need to wake up and go straight to work on yourself, your mind, your goals. Because if you don't, the world is going to pull you in 100 different directions. And before you know it, the day is over and you've done nothing that moves you forward. I need you to understand something. Your mornings are your foundation. A weak foundation can't support anything great. If you build your day on laziness, on procrastination, on bad habits, then don't expect to have a strong life. The most successful people in the world, they don't wait until 10 a.m. to get serious. They don't wait for motivation. They wake up and they get to work. You want to be a beast? Then act like one. Stop waking up late, rolling out of bed with no plan, no energy, no urgency. That's how the average live. That's how people stay broke, stay stuck, stay frustrated. You want more, then you've got to start your day like someone who actually wants more. Your morning is when you set the standard for the rest of the day. If you start weak, you stay weak. If you start slow, you stay slow. You ever notice how when you wake up late, the whole day feels off? You feel behind, you feel rushed. You feel like you're just trying to catch up. That's because you didn't take control of your morning. You gave it away. But when you wake up with purpose, when you wake up and get straight to work on your body, on your mind, on your goals, you create energy, you create focus, you create a mindset that says, I run this day doesn't run me. Some of you have been losing in life simply because you refuse to fix your mornings. You think it's a small thing, but it's not. It's everything. If you can't control the first few hours of your day, how do you expect to control the rest of your life? And let me tell you something. You don't need a complicated morning routine. You don't need to meditate for an hour, drink some magic green juice, and do yoga while listening to ocean sounds. You just need discipline. You just need to wake up and get moving. You need to stop hitting snooze. You need to put your phone down. You need to get your mind right before the world gets a chance to pull you in 1,000 different directions. Start your day by working on yourself. Read, learn, get in the gym, write down your goals. Get your mind in a place where you are ready to dominate. Because if you don't, you step into the battlefield of life unarmed. I'm telling you right now, if you change your mornings, you change your life. But if you keep playing games, if you keep waking up with no urgency, no discipline, no plan, then don't be surprised when another year goes by and you're in the exact same place wondering why success hasn't found you yet. Fix your mornings and everything else will start to fall into place. Let me tell you something about sharks. They don't stop moving. They don't wait. They don't hesitate. A shark that stops swimming, it dies. Simple as that. And some of you, that's exactly what's happening in your life. You're stuck. You're standing still, and you wonder why nothing is happening for you. You wonder why your life isn't moving forward, why your dreams aren't coming to life, why success seems to be slipping further and further away. It's because you stopped moving. You stopped grinding. You stopped attacking your goals like your life depends on it. You stopped attacking your goals like your life depends. And let me be real with you. It does. You don't have time to sit back and wait for the perfect moment. You don't have time to sit around and complain about why things aren't working out. Sharks don't waste time crying over what's not going right. They adjust, they adapt, they find a way. That's the mindset you need to have. If one door closes, you find another one. If one path doesn't work, You create a new one. But standing still, wasting time, that's not an option, not if you want to win. Some of you are out here playing like you got forever, like you got unlimited chances, like time is on your side. It's not. Every second you waste is a second you can't get back. Every moment you spend doubting, hesitating, waiting, it's a moment you could have been making moves, getting better, growing. Success is about momentum. You ever notice how the people who stay consistent, the ones who keep showing up every single day, are the ones who eventually break through? It's not an accident. It's not luck. It's because they never stop, even when it was hard, even when it looked like nothing was working, even when they wanted to quit. They kept moving. And some of you, you're frustrated because you're not seeing results. You're mad because things aren't happening fast enough. But let me ask you, have you really been moving, or have you just been standing there waiting for something to happen? Are you truly grinding every day, or are you stopping every time you get tired, every time it gets hard, every time it doesn't go exactly how you planned? A shark doesn't think about how tired it is. It doesn't worry about whether or not it's comfortable. It just moves. It just hunts. It just survives. And if you want to be great, if you want to dominate in your field, if you want to be the best at what you do, you have to take on that same mindset. You can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to be soft. You can't afford to let distractions pull you away from your purpose. Some of you, you let little things stop you. One bad day, and you shut down. One failure, and you start doubting yourself. One rejection, and you start thinking, and maybe this isn't for you. Do you think a shark cares if the water is cold? Do you think a shark stops moving because the conditions aren't perfect? No, it keeps going. It keeps pushing forward no matter what. That's the mindset that separates the winners from everybody else. That's what makes champions. They don't wait for the right condition. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for somebody to give them permission. They just go. They just do. They just move. If you're serious about success, if you really want it, then you have to commit to this mindset. No more hesitation. No more excuses. No more waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The time is now, right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Every day you wake up, you need to be moving, you need to be grinding, you need to be chasing down your goals like your survival depends on it. Because in a way it does. The life you want, it's not going to come to you. You have to go get it. You have to attack it. You have to move like a shark. Relentless, focused, unstoppable. So ask yourself, are you moving or are you just existing? Are you hunting or are you just waiting to be fed? Because the truth is, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to do this for you. It's on you. And if you stop moving, if you stop pushing, if you stop grinding, you're done. Lock in. Get moving. Stay relentless. Because in this world, you're either a shark or you're prey. Life is always moving. Business is always changing. The game is always evolving. And if you're not willing to adapt, you're going to get left behind. It's as simple as that. Some of you are frustrated right now and wonder why things aren't working out, why success isn't coming to you. You're looking at your situation, blaming everything and everyone around you, but you're not looking at yourself. You're not asking the real question. Have I adapted? Have I adjusted? Have I changed the way I approach the game, or am I still doing the same thing I was doing last year, expecting different results? The world doesn't wait for you. The market doesn't wait for you. Life doesn't pause and say, oh, you're struggling? You're feeling stuck? Okay, we'll wait. No, it keeps moving. And if you don't move with it, you will be left behind. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how much potential you have. If you refuse to adapt, you will lose. Look at the biggest businesses in the world. Look at the most successful people in any industry. What do they all have in common? They evolve. They adjust. They are always ahead of the curve. When technology shifts, they shift with it. When the market changes, they don't complain, they adjust. They study the game, they see what's happening, and they move accordingly. But most people, they don't do that. They hold on to old ways. They refuse to change. They do the same thing over and over, even when it's not working, and then they get mad when life passes them by. Let me tell you something. Just because something worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work forever. Just because something brought you success before doesn't mean it's going to bring you success now. You have to stay sharp. You have to be willing to learn, to grow, to adjust. Some of you are stuck in jobs you hate, stuck in situations that aren't serving you, stuck in habits that are killing your progress, and you're too afraid to make a change. You're too afraid to take a risk, to step into something new, to challenge yourself. But let me ask you, what's worse? The fear of change or the regret of staying the same? The discomfort of trying something new or the pain of looking back and realizing you wasted years doing something that wasn't getting you anywhere? You've got to get out of this mindset that says, this is just how I am, this is just how I do things. No, that's an excuse. That's weakness. You are not a tree. You are not stuck. You can move, you can change, you can grow, but only if you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone and do things differently. Some of you have big dreams, but your methods are outdated. You say you want to be successful, but you refuse to learn new skills. You say you want to be great, but you're still operating with an old mentality. You can't bring an old mindset into a new level of success. You can't reach your next level doing things the same way you did at your last level. Think about a shark. A shark doesn't survive by staying in one place, doing the same thing over and over. Think about a shark. A shark doesn't survive by staying in one place, doing the same thing over and over. It moves, it hunts, it adapts to its environment. If the food isn't in one area, it moves to another. It doesn't sit there and complain. It doesn't cry about how things used to be. It adjusts and keeps going. That's what makes it a predator. That's what makes it unstoppable. You have to start thinking the same way. If something isn't working, don't sit there and complain. Change your approach. If the industry you're in is shifting, don't resist it. Learn how to maneuver within it. If life throws you a curveball, don't let it knock you down. Adjust and keep swinging. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never fail. They aren't the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who know how to adjust. They are the ones who see problems and find solutions. They are the ones who refuse to stay the same while everything around them is changing. So ask yourself, am I adapting or am I just making excuses? Am I adjusting to the challenges in front of me, or am I sitting back waiting for things to magically get better? Because let me tell you something, they won't. The only way your situation changes is if you change. Stop waiting, stop resisting, stop holding on to old ways that are keeping you stuck. Adapt, adjust, move like a shark, or get left behind. Some of you are out here moving like you got all the time in the world. You're acting like you can just put things off until tomorrow, like success is just going to wait for you. But let me tell you something, success doesn't wait. Opportunity doesn't wait. The people who are winning, they're not winning because they're lucky. They're winning because they understand something you don't. Speed matters. You can't be slow in this game. You can't be hesitant. You can't spend all your time overthinking, second guessing, waiting for the perfect moment. Because guess what? The perfect moment doesn't exist. While you're waiting, somebody else is making moves. While you're doubting yourself, somebody else is going all in. While you're overanalyzing every little detail, somebody else is taking action, learning as they go, adjusting on the fly, and making things happen. That's the difference. That's the separation between the ones who make it and the ones who don't. It's not always about talent. It's not always about intelligence. It's about who moves first. Who's willing to take the shot before they feel ready? Who's willing to step up when everybody else is still trying to figure out what to do? Some of you, you've been sitting on ideas for years. You've been talking about what you're going to do for so long that it's just become a story you tell yourself. You say you want success, but every time an opportunity presents itself, you hesitate. You talk yourself out of it. You wait. And the more you wait, the further behind you fall. You know what happens when a shark smells blood? It attacks immediately. It doesn't sit back and think, I wonder if this is a good opportunity. Maybe I should wait a little longer. Maybe I should check if the conditions are right. No, it goes after it. It moves fast because it understands something. You know, if it waits, it loses. That's the mentality you need. When you see an opportunity, go after it. When you know something needs to be done, do it now. Stop waiting for things to feel comfortable. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Just move. Some of you are living your whole life in hesitation mode. You've got goals, but you're moving too slow. You want to start that business, but you're waiting for the right time. You want to chase that dream, but you keep telling yourself you're not ready yet. You want to change your life, but you keep pushing it off until tomorrow. But guess what? Tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow's just an excuse you're using to avoid doing the work today. You're acting like you have unlimited chances, but you don't. You're acting like opportunities will keep knocking forever, but they won't. At some point, the door closes. At some point, the chance is gone. And when that moment comes, you're going to look back and realize you missed out, not because you weren't good enough, not because you didn't have the potential, but because you refused to move when it mattered. You can't afford to be passive. You can't afford to keep waiting. You need to move with urgency every single day. You need to wake up and attack life like you're running out of time, because you are. You need to make decisions quickly. You need to take action immediately. You need to develop the mindset of do it now. You want to know why most people fail? It's not because they don't have talent. It's not because they don't have ideas. It's because they're too slow. They hesitate, they wait, and by the time they finally decide to take action, it's too late. The opportunity is gone. The window has closed. The ones who make it, they understand that speed kills hesitation. Speed kills fear. Speed creates momentum. The faster you move, the more you learn. The faster you move, the more you grow. The faster you move, the more confidence you build. You ever notice how when you hesitate, doubt starts creeping in? The longer you wait, the more reasons you find not to do it. But when you move fast, there's no time for fear. There's no time to second guess yourself. You just go. You just execute. You just figure it out as you go. That's how winners operate. They fail fast. They learn fast. They adjust fast. And because of that, they stay ahead while everybody else is still sitting on the sideline, trying to figure things out. Some of you need to wake up and realize that your biggest problem isn't your skills, your circumstances, or your resources. Your biggest problem is your speed. You're moving too slow. You're thinking too much. You're hesitating too long. You're watching from the sidelines while others are taking the risk you're too scared to take. It's time to move. It's time to act. Stop talking and start doing. The world belongs to those who move first. If you keep waiting, you're going to wake up one day and realize you waited your whole life away. So decide right now, are you going to be the one who hesitates or the one who attacks? Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to win. But the truth is, most people aren't willing to do what it actually takes to get there. They say they want it, but the moment things get tough, the moment they feel a little discomfort, they start looking for a way out. They start making excuses. They start backing off. But let me tell you something. Success doesn't come to the comfortable. It doesn't come to the ones who only work when they feel like it. It comes to the ones who are willing to suffer for it. It comes to the ones who embrace the grind, who embrace the pain, who understand that struggle is part of the process. Some of you don't get it yet. You think success should be easy. You think if it's meant for you, it should come without struggle, without sacrifice, without discomfort. But that's not how it works. Nothing great comes without a cost. Nothing worth having comes without pain. If you're not willing to go through that pain, then you're not really serious about success. You look at the great athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, they didn't get there by taking the easy road. They got there by pushing through the pain. They got there by showing up when they didn't feel like it. They got there by doing the work when nobody was watching, when nobody was clapping, when nobody was giving them credit. They suffered for it. They sacrificed for it. And that's why they made it. But some of you, the moment it starts getting hard, you quit. The moment you face a little resistance, you back off. The moment things don't go exactly how you planned, you start questioning everything. Let me tell you something. Success is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to test you. It's supposed to push you. That's the point. Because if it was easy, everybody would have it. If it was easy, there would be no value in it. A shark doesn't survive in the ocean because it avoids struggle. It survives because it's built for it. It doesn't complain when the waters get rough. It doesn't stop hunting because it's tired. It keeps moving. It keeps pushing forward. It embraces the fight because it knows that's the only way it stays alive. That's the mindset you need. Some of you are too soft. You're too quick to back down. You're looking for shortcuts. You're looking for a way to get to the top without putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. But let me be real with you. There are no shortcuts. There's no easy way. There's no hack, no secret formula, no overnight success. There's just the grind. There's just the work. There's just the pain you have to be willing to endure to get where you say you want to go. You have to stop avoiding the struggle and start embracing it. You have to stop seeing pain as something to run from and start seeing it as the price you have to pay for greatness. Because the reality is, pain is temporary, but quitting is forever. The struggle you're going through right now, it's going to pass. The hardship you're facing, it's just part of the process. But if you quit, if you give up, that's permanent. That's the decision you have to live with for the rest of your life. Some of you have been running from pain your whole life. You've been avoiding the hard things. You've been staying in your comfort zone because it's safe, because it's familiar, because it doesn't challenge you. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Comfort is where average people stay, while the hungry ones, the ones who are willing to suffer, the ones who are willing to fight, go out and take what's theirs. You have to make a decision. Are you willing to suffer for what you say you want? Are you willing to push through the pain even when it feels like everything is against you? Are you willing to keep going even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when nobody believes in you? Because that's what it takes. That's the price of success. Stop looking for easy. Stop waiting for it to feel good. Stop expecting it to be comfortable. It won't be. It's going to hurt. It's going to put you past your limits. It's going to demand everything you've got. But if you can endure it, if you can push through, if you can keep going when most people would quit, that's when you separate yourself. That's when you start rising above everybody else. That's when you start becoming unstoppable. Success doesn't go to the ones who want it. It goes to the ones who are willing to suffer for it. So they slow down. They start cutting corners. They start taking their foot off the gas. They think because they've had a little success, because they've won a few times, they can afford to relax. But what they don't realize is that success is never owned, it's leased. And if you don't keep paying that lease, it gets taken from you. Look at the greatest athletes in the world. Look at the most successful entrepreneurs. They don't stop when they reach the top. They don't stop when they win a championship or build a successful company. No, they keep working like they're still at the bottom. They keep grinding like they have something to prove. They stay hungry even when they've already eaten. That's why they stay at the top while everybody else fades away. But some of you, you get a little success and start acting like the work is done. You achieve one goal and then sit back like you've arrived. You start moving like you've got time, like you can afford to take a break, like the competition isn't coming for you. Let me tell you something. The moment you stop working, someone else is out there working to take your spot. The moment you slow down, someone else is speeding up. The moment you start feeling comfortable, you're already falling behind. A shark doesn't stop moving. It doesn't take a day off. It doesn't relax and say, hey, I've hunted enough. I'll just chill for a while. No, it keeps going. It keeps hunting. It stays sharp because the second it stops moving, it dies. That's the mindset you need to have. Keep moving, keep grinding, keep evolving. Because if you stop, if you get complacent, if you start thinking you've done enough, you're done. The problem is some of you want to celebrate too soon. You accomplish one thing and act like the work is finished. You hit one goal and start coasting. But success doesn't care about what you did yesterday. It doesn't care about how hard you worked last year. It only cares about what you're doing right now. Some of you are still talking about what you did years ago, still holding on to past wins like they mean something. Today, listen to me. Nobody cares about what you did back then. Nobody cares about the work you used to put in. What are you doing today? How are you pushing yourself right now? Because the moment you start relying on past success, you've already lost. There are people out there who are just as talented as you. There are people out there who have the same dreams as you. The difference isn't in talent. The difference isn't in skill. The difference is in who's willing to show up every single day and put in the work. The difference is in who's willing to keep paying the price for success long after most people have quit. The truth is the grind never stops. There is no finish line. There is no moment where you get to say, okay, I've made it, now I can relax. No, because the second you think that, the second you stop pushing, is the second everything you work for starts slipping away. That's why you have to stay hungry. That's why you have to keep that fire burning, because success doesn't care about what you want. It only cares about what you're willing to work for. So if you really want it, prove it. Not once, not twice, but every single day. Keep grinding, keep pushing, keep earning it. Because if you don't, someone else will. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success. Let me ask you something. Do you have the heart for this? Do you have the endurance? Do you have the mindset to finish what you started? Because let me tell you something. It's easy to start. It's easy to be motivated on day one. It's easy to talk about your dreams, post about your goals, tell the world what you're going to do. But when the excitement fades, when the hype dies down, when it's just you and the work, can you keep going? Most people can't. Most people start strong but finish weak. They show up on fire, ready to take on the world, but the moment it gets hard, the moment things don't go their way, the moment they face resistance, they start looking for a way out. They start making excuses. They start questioning if they even want it anymore. That's the difference between winners and everybody else. The ones who make it, the ones who rise above the rest, they don't just start. They finish. You have to develop a finisher's mindset. You have to make up your mind that no matter what comes your way, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how long it takes, you will not stop until you cross that finish line. Because let me tell you something, there will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you're tired, when it feels like everything is against you. But those are the days that separate the ones who make it from the ones who don't. Those are the moments when you have to decide, are you going to quit or are you going to push through? A shark doesn't stop swimming just because it's tired. It doesn't take breaks. It doesn't slow down. It keeps moving because if it stops, it dies. That's the mentality you need. No stopping, no slowing down, no quitting. You keep moving forward no matter what. Some of you start things but never finish. You have 100 unfinished projects, 100 dreams you started chasing but gave up on when things got tough. You get excited, you go all in for a few weeks, maybe a few months, but when the results don't come fast enough, when the process takes longer than you expected, you check out. You move on to something else, looking for the next thing that feels exciting again. And that's why you're stuck. That's why you never break through. Because success isn't about how many things you start. It's about how many things you finish. You say you want to be successful, then prove it. Not when it's easy, not when you feel motivated. Prove it when it's hard. Prove it when nobody is watching. Prove it when quitting looks like the best option. Because that's when it counts. That's when you build something real. That's when you separate yourself from everybody else who gave up. You have to kill that quitting mentality. You have to stop running at the first sign of struggle. Because if you keep quitting every time it gets hard, you'll never get anywhere. You'll keep restarting over and over, stuck in the same cycle, never moving forward, never finishing, never winning. And one day you'll look back at your life and realize you had everything you needed to succeed, but you never stuck with anything long enough to make it happen. You need to commit. You need to decide right now that you're in this for the long haul. No more quitting, no more starting and stopping, no more walking away when things don't go exactly how you planned. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. There will be moments when you want to throw in the towel. But that's when you dig deep. That's when you remind yourself why you started in the first place. That's when you push harder. Some of you are waiting for motivation to carry you to the finish line, but motivation fades. That's why discipline matters. That's why commitment matters. Because motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going when motivation is gone. When you set a goal, you don't stop until you hit it. When you start something, you finish it. No excuses, no backing down, no quitting when it gets tough. You see it through to the end. Because at the end of the day, nobody remembers how you started. Nobody cares about your potential. Nobody cares about your ideas, your plans, your dreams. They care about what you finished. So decide right now, are you just going to be another person who starts and quit, or are you going to be the one who finishes?